There is no shame in declaring all of who you are so you can see and feel who you are and move through it and become your freedom. That's courage, that's guts, that's glory waiting for you on the other side of following the pack, of not believing that you are your ultimate creation. Women, you were meant to receive more, more, more. I love that this has landed for you. Rate the podcast, share it with a friend. If you're joining us in one of our coaching events that we're having, Doves of Life, come on in here. Welcome to another episode of the Rebel for a Spell podcast. I am Wen Peets, your intuitive healing guide, author, and speaker, and coach. Did I say that? My loves, this episode is from my heart to yours. Women, you are meant to receive more. Let's say that again. Women, you are meant to receive more. In my coaching over 8 years, I've been speaking and interacting, and even in my daily life, with so many gorgeous women who have been trained to doubt their divinity, their greatness. Women, you are meant to receive more, and that more is whatever you say that more is. More love, relationships, more compensation, more salary, more luxury in your life, more calmful, peaceful mind, sexy, hot, delicious body, more a safe home, a gorgeous home for you, your family, your kids, more healthy, feeling inside, outside, supportive environment. You're meant to receive more. And that's why in this episode, I'm offering some practices, simple practices for you. Because if you have been trained to doubt, as I was, yes, let's tell the truth. We tell ourselves the truth so that we can move forward and heal and feel our divinity, our greatness, our abundance coming in. Because if that is in the way, honey, if we are lying to ourselves, if we are downgrading what we want, then we are doing ourselves a disservice. We are blocking the path to our greatness, our divinity. And freedom needs you to be free. Freedom needs you to feel free. Women, you are meant to receive more. So how do you receive more if everybody around you is settling or accepting that, well, this is just how it works. The economy, let's say, is not that great. Recently, somebody said to me, the business is slow, times are slow, and I listened to it all. Somebody else said to me, my sciatica is acting up. It runs in my family, this thing. It's just how it is. Somebody else said to me, I've been thinking about writing my book. And because I was telling that person I'm in writing the process of finishing my second book. And the person said, oh yes, I've been working on this manuscript and I just can't seem to get it out. And it's probably not going to happen. And here's what I say, my loves, you are meant to receive more. And whatever is going on in the world of others, your friends, your family, your co-workers, your network, whatever everybody else is thinking, feeling, and believing, ain't got nothing to do with you. Let me say that again. Women, you are meant to receive more. So whatever people are saying and however they're thinking, because that is the popular consensus, it ain't got nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. Because what shows up in your life is what you are holding in your mind and in your heart. What shows up in your life is what you are holding, believing, thinking, feeling in your heart, in your mind, and what you are practicing, thinking, feeling, and believing every day. Yes, that's what's going to show up in your life. And my loves, we are not here to lower our expectations of what our life should look like, feel like, and be like, because everybody else is doing that. No. We have a higher priority of being and feeling and becoming all that we want. Let's say that again. We are not here to lower our expectations of what we want to accommodate the general consensus, to accommodate and to fit in with what everybody else is doing. No, hells to the no. We're here for love. We're here for freedom. We're here for money. We're here for kindness and compassion and inspiration and nourishing, supportive environments. And I don't know about you, whatever religion you practice, your Allah, your Buddha, your Jesus, I don't see that person, that soul lowering their expectations for what the life and compassion and love and kindness should feel like so that they fit in. No. Freedom needs no counsel. Let's say that again. Freedom. Your freedom. Freedom needs no counsel. So you decide what you want more of in your life. Women, how to receive more. Women, you are made to receive more. You decide what that more is, that freedom, that abundance, what it feels like, what you'd like your life to look like. And you hold that capacity. You open up that capacity to receive more of that. So if every day you are thinking, feeling, and following, marching along, it's not going to work out. It's never going to be right. I'll never find love. I'll never find happiness. My body is to this. My body is to that. This is all I can have. Guess what? That's what you actually receive. And I was a master at that, my love. And many of my clients started out that way too. And there ain't no shame in it. There is no shame in declaring all of who you are so you can see and feel who you are and move through it and become your freedom. That's courage, that's guts, that's glory waiting for you on the other side of following the pack, of not believing that you are your ultimate creation. Women, you were meant to receive more. And the more is what you say, the more is. Here's the practice, my love. Pen and paper, get your pen and paper, your Post-it, whatever you have. For one day, we're talking women, how to receive more. So here's the exercise. For one day, I know you're busy writers, mothers, businesswomen, corporate women, doctors, lawyers, you're busy. So just one day. Observe, pay attention, just like you pay attention to your calendar for your meetings, your calendar for your surgeries, whatever your occupation is, you're scheduled to pick up your kids one day. Pay attention between 8 a.m. and noon. What are you thinking about in that window, that short 4-hour window? Pay attention to what you're thinking about. So guess what? At noon, check in with yourself and get your journal, if you have that up, Post-it, whatever you have, and write out between this time, here's what I was thinking about. Because when we record and have a record for us to go back and reflect and see and observe and learn, that's when we make an assessment of where we'd like to go, of how we'd like to improve, or how we'd like to maintain. That's step 1, 8 to noon. One day, one Groundhog Day. Next, between noon and 4, do the same thing. Do the same thing, but in this writing of observing, of reflecting what you were thinking about, also add this element. What and how was I feeling between that time, 12 to 4? So 4 p.m. before you think about packing up your desk or picking up your kids or before you go in another meeting or whatever time works for you. You know how your day works out. But I'm encouraging you to practice this exercise for a second time in the day by adding two things, not one thing. First, what was I thinking about? And you get specific, my love. Don't just say rainbow. Don't just say some kind of meal. Be specific. What were you thinking about? And if you want to put categories like business, work, play, kids, well-being, here, whatever, you do that. And how was I feeling as you were thinking about those things? Okay, so that's part 2. Part 3 now. In the evening, the night, between 4 and 11, think about that window of time, 4 p.m., 11 p.m. If you're up that late, whenever time you go to sleep, just think about and reflect. Same thing. What was I thinking about during that time? How was I feeling about what I was thinking about? And what was I doing during that time that I was thinking and feeling about those things? Write that down, my love. Write that down. Put it away in your journal. Put it away. That's part 1 of that exercise. The next day, after you've written those 3 blocks of buckets of information and register and recording your window of thinking and feeling and doing, the next day, take a look when you have space in your day. Don't do this at the stoplight. Don't do this in the middle of a meeting. You want to do this when you're feeling present, when you have time for yourself to focus on you. Not in between feeding your baby. So if you got to take your journal in the shower or when you're on the toilet, whatever is your space of time, take a minute and just read that. Read it as if you were reading a novel, meaning you don't have a direct contact or direct relationship with the person, but just read it without too much judgment if you can, because it's hard to read and reflect about ourselves without incorporating our emotions. We're humans. Perfectly normal. But try to remove the judgment and just look at the patterns you've seen in those windows of time. And just look at it. Offer yourself grace when you come upon a certain pattern, or offer yourself celebration if you see something that you did that made you feel a certain way. And here's the practice for day 2. After you've read that, give yourself at least, let's say, 3 hours to just feel and be activated by that rereading. And then in the evening, sometime between, let's say, 7 and 10, 6 and 10, in your journal on a fresh page, or in your book, in your post-it notepad, write how you would like to feel during those hours that you blocked out the day before. How would I really like to feel? And what would I want to think about? And what would I want to do between 8 and 12? Then between 12 and 4, you make that note. Then 4 and 11, what do I want to feel? How do I want to feel? What do I want to think about? And what do I wish I could be doing? What are we doing? We're inviting ourselves to receive more of the energy, of the emotions that we want to feel more. Because a lot of us think if we get the thing, what is the thing? The relationship, the money, the home, getting the results, getting the actual physical, tangible thing will make us feel better, will make our lives better. Yes, my loves, sure, that could be the thing. But if what we're feeling and believing is we have to auction, we have to wait, we have to follow what other people do in being led, being controlled by the money so we can feel better, being controlled by the relationship, the love, the man, the woman, the sex, the friendship so we can feel better. We are not saying to ourselves right now, you are worthy of feeling better, of feeling good, just because you have that contemplation, you have that thought of feeling good, you have that idea, you are you, so of course you're meant to receive more. Because unless we are receiving more of what we want, and how do we connect with what we want? Question for you, how do you connect and believe and think and feel what you want without your emotions being a part of this? This may sound strange to many of you who have not been in my space before, but my love, when you listen in to how you feel before you get the man, the woman, the love, before you get the house, you open up a space within yourself, the capacity, you ready your entire being to open that window in your mind that's connected to your heart. You open that window to allow more in. Freedom only exists when you feel it, when you give yourself permission to receive it. Because otherwise, here's what's going to happen. You're going to get that love, you're going to get that money, and you're going to keep comparing yourself to somebody else because you're not letting yourself feel it. You're not believing it. You're still looking on the outside for something else to control the way you feel. My love, you are already worthy. And by practicing receiving more, women, you are meant to receive more. Women, you are meant to receive more. But if you do not have the capacity within you to hold those feelings, this is what we ultimately want, the feeling of feeling good before you get what you want, the feeling like I did of feeling inner peace and healing and freedom in my mind and my body and no anxiety, this insomnia, the feeling of freedom, it will not come in because you will be saying, I want this thing. I want the money. I want the money, but I don't think it's going to come. I want the love, but I don't think it's going to come. I want the house, but it's not going to come. We have to open up and say, listen, I am worthy of it. I am worthy of it, so it will come. It must come. It has to come. Because I know I am meant to receive more. Women, you are meant to receive more. But you cannot receive what you cannot feel. You cannot receive what you do not believe. And you cannot receive anything if you don't first allow yourself the space within you to ask yourself, what do I want more of? You open that up, and just the asking opens a space within you for the next question. What do I want to feel more of? We don't practice, my love. This is a practice. We practice every day. All the things we don't have, all the things that people have that we wish we had, all the things that we should do that we do not do because we need to do and follow everybody else. My love, freedom needs no counsel. Your freedom, your more. You don't need to consult with anybody. You are the expert of your life. You do not need to consult and ask anybody else what you need because you already know. You already know what you want, what you need. You already know. Maybe you just have not been practicing the courage to receive more, to ask for more, to feel more, to hold more. Try this practice today, my loves, tomorrow, next week, next year, whenever you feel called to. But remember, we do not lower our expectations of freedom. We do not lower our expectations of divinity, of our more. We do not lower our greatness to fit in with somebody else's ordinariness, with somebody else's settlingness. We elevate ourselves and open ourselves up more to receive and to believe in our worthiness. Why? Because we were born worthy. You had nothing to do to receive this feeling of worthiness, but to let it in. My loves, if this has landed for you, rate the podcast, share it with a friend. If you're joining us in one of our coaching events that we're having, the author self-publishing online event we're having coming up with the Financial Freedom online course, the Joy, Momentum, Retreats, and Workshops, you're welcome in. Any questions, you send it below, comment below, rate this podcast. If this has helped you, remember, you are more powerful. You are more powerful than you may have been led to believe. You are more powerful than you may have been led to believe. Freedom needs no counsel. We're men. We are meant to receive more. Worthy, yeah, yeah, yeah. Shimmy, shimmy, worthy, yeah, yeah, yeah. Worthy, yeah, yeah, yeah. Shimmy, shimmy, worthy, yeah, yeah, yeah.